Hey everyone, this is Naz again. Basically, another Info.Tech.Journal entry for me after troubleshooting vPC and LACP. Basically, virtual port channel and LACP. So basically, this is the way it goes. Yeah, I have a lab. This is me labbing it up, troubleshooting something, and the story goes like this. I have basically vPC domain 1. This vPC domain 1, and their control link is in Ethernet 1/1 for both of them. I've separated them, basically the control plane in the IP address for reachability or hellos between the two switches, switch 11 and switch 12, in a VRF called Keep Alive. We'll check this as we go. Basically, the problem is I've already made the vPC domain. They're talking to each other. We'll verify that in a bit more. But then when I made my LACP, this particular bundle between the two, I noticed that on Nexus 12 and the Nexus 11, this particular link, okay, let me use a different color. This particular link was not participating. It's suspended. As you can see here, I was checking through my logs and I noticed that every time I brought it back up, it mentioned that it is suspended. Hopefully you can see that. This is a personal video. If you're watching this, thank you for watching. Basically, hopefully you don't get the same trouble of vPC and LACP port channel link problem. Okay, let's just verify through the configuration step by step. So the first thing I'm gonna do is basically I have my Nexus switches here. When you have a Nexus switch, the first thing you do, I always make sure that I have the feature on. So I show feature. That's too many. So show feature exclude disable. So I have made sure that LACP and vPC are enabled on both the switches. So show feature exclude disable. As you can see here, they're enabled. Next thing I want to do is basically check that my IPs are pingable between the two. So as I mentioned previously, I use Ethernet 1/1. So Ethernet 1/1, I just say show run interface Ethernet 1/1, and this is the configuration. I know there's no shut, and that's the IP address. So let's copy this and bring it to the other device. That's good. So I'm gonna ping him 10.11.12.11 and make sure you use the right VRF. It's VRF keep alive, and it's pingable. That's good. That means I have reachability between Nexus 11 and Nexus 12 for my vPC. Next thing I'm going to check is just the VP itself. The configuration for the vPC. This is not really a vPC video, but the main thing I want to check is that I have my peer keep live configuration in. So I'm going to include keep alive. So I have my peer keep alive destination, which is 10.11.12.11, and source is 10.11.12.12, of course using the VRF keep alive. I'm just keeping it on a different VRF because I don't want it to be mixed with my regular data plane or all my other traffic. This is just basically just for my vPC. Okay, so next thing to do is actually show vPC. Before that, before I show you my vPC, I know that the vPC is up, so that was my assumption. And I just checked it. I just did a very quick show vPC, and I just say success. That's the only thing I saw. I didn't even say more. That's a very key point. Well, troubleshooting, do not skip steps. So I became tunnel vision because I was checking my ether channels or port channels. So I'm gonna say port channel here. Show port channel summary. This is participating for Nexus 12 and Nexus Switch 11. So port channel summary, and this little s got me a little upset, to say the least. So it's suspended. And here I go here. Again, I say show ether channel summary, and it says here participating, and here is an S. So thinking like how I usually do with LACP or port channels to servers and stuff, I just basically check the configuration. So I just check the two configurations for the port. I say show run interface Ethernet 0/3 and 1/2 just to make sure that I have everything correct. Port channel 25. So I look at the configuration. As you can see here, active or passive is for LACP. Channel group 25, the recapitulation is trunk, so I know that everything is okay. And this is trunk as well, and trunk, this is the port channel. I'm just allowing 130. This is a specific reason for this particular design, but we're not gonna get into that at this moment. So configuration wise, it's all good. So then next thing I do, I am tunnel vision, like I said, and I'm gonna say here show run interface Ethernet 1/3. Oh, sorry, 1/3. So because that is the port that I am actually interested in. So I see here it's passive, so passive active, that should form a LACP or a port channel. No problem. Checking here and I check here. Show run interface each channel 1/3, and it's active. Active is okay, good. No problem there. Usually with port channel, I usually just shut down the port channel and just bring it up because sometimes they do get stuck in an inconsistent state. If you are configuring the port channel not in order, but that is not a problem. Recently in newer iOS versions, I think it stopped at 12, but I don't quote me on that. I haven't seen it in a while. So that's what I did. Basically, I said interface port channel 12. Port channel. Am I on the right device? Yes, I'm on switch 25. Interface port channel 25. I say shut down. Okay. Turn it down and wait a bit. Okay. All the participating ports are down. So I check 03, 12, and port channel 25. So I say no shut. Usually with port channels, sometimes they do get stuck and suspended. I just bring them down really quick and just bring them back up, and that usually fixes them up really quick. I see here the culprit is 0/3. 0/3 is now down for some reason. It went up, it went down. So next thing I'm gonna do is show interface status. And for some reason it's suspended. And then I go show logs. Show logs. And for some reason it went down. Reading the logs again. You probably see this again. It probably says I can see it right now. Where is it? Up and down, up and down. Basically, it says there's something about being suspended because the port channel is not coming up, or the other side, the port channel is not. No, let me just go back up. I had it just now somewhere. Here it is. So basically, that message came up again when I was troubleshooting. I said to myself, how can it not be up or not be configuring? Because I've already checked this side of the configuration and it is actually saying passive. So it would accept their negotiation to form a lag or a port channel or ether channel. Now I got tunnel vision. The next thing I did was, probably there's a bug. Because since it's a lab, I just rebooted it. If it was an actual production environment, just make sure you ask somebody before you do this. Don't just reboot something randomly if it's just only one link problem. Okay, but I rebooted it. So I rebooted it, it still went to the same thing. So this is where my fault that I want to remind myself. Like I said before, when I said show vPC, success, but here configured vPC was 3, while in the actual environment, there were supposed to be 4 VPCs, because the configuration that I did was, this was in itself 1 VPC going to these 2 devices. Right? But how many do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, but then I didn't check. Oh, that's my bad then. The rookie mistake. And 3. When I went down some more, I was too focused on saying the configuration and the VPC status was peer agency form. That's all I wanted to see just now. But I was too tunnel vision. Then I went down, I checked that again. The VPC status, I only had 26, 27, and 28. When I went to the other Nexus switch, show VPC, I had the right number, 4. Not only that, when I scroll down a bit more, and she says VPC status for port channel number 25, the status is down. Failed. Peer does not have corresponding VPC. When I looked at this command, all right, and enter VPC 25, local value was present. I had local value, but the other side, the peer value was not present. Because here, sorry, on Nexus switch 11, it wasn't even present. I forgot. When you form a lag and VPCs, the port channel itself needs to realize that it is in a VPC. So when I say show run interface port channel 25, this one, there was no interfaces. This particular interface does not have a VPC configuration. It was not aware that was a part of VPC. It was just thinking, oh, I'm waiting for a port channel. This is just me. Okay, just bring it on. But it didn't know it was a part of VPC. So if I say show interface port channel 25, oh sorry, not this one. Show run. This knows that it is in VPC 25. It was just a very simple thing to do, but I got tunnel vision. That's my problem. And I just needed to say VPC 25. If I say show ether channel, show VPC again. Now this is saying it down, success, success. But if you go here, it says disable active. Show VPC. It says down, success, success. I'm just waiting for that to be brought back up. So the easiest way to do that is you go to your port channel. Alright, and then shut down. Like the usual way, if you were to treat it like any old port channel, and I say no shut. Alright, and I do that, I just go back here, and it is a success. And when I say show port channel summary, now it is no longer an S, it now shows as a P. So all I needed to do was just to make sure that that particular port channel was aware that it was part of a vPC and included in that particular vPC. So this is a self note for me and a journal entry. If you haven't watched this to the end, thank you for watching it. Hopefully you find it helpful as well. So that is it for me. Thanks for watching.